Tina Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, and we like to call it Flosstube here on YouTube. And I hope you enjoy what you see. I hope you can't hear the sanding that's going on downstairs, but the work has to be done, so sorry if you can hear it. I don't know if I'll be able to edit it out. So today is Wednesday, August 31st. It is early afternoon. Well, okay, not early, 4:30. I would normally be at work right now, but today they are doing a staff appreciation event, and I don't fish typically, and today is not a very good day to be on the lake, so I'm kind of glad that I opted out for this event. Yeah, so I am going to be sharing my whips that I've been working on for the last week and a half, because it's been 10 days since my last video. So I also have some Stitchy kindness and goals, September plans to be discussed. So this is a slightly different angle of my craft room. I was over there, but the light coming off the window really skews the coloring. So I decided to shift over here and let Khaleesi have the chair instead. So I am going to share a few whips. I don't have any new starts, because I already had 2 big new starts earlier this month, and you will see those again, because I did work on them. So I'm going to show you this one, but it's prepped for its last bit of stitching, which honestly I could probably get done today. Yeah, I just have to backstitch in 2 areas, and then this will be finished. This is Alice, Free Sal by Owl Forest Embroidery. Also, thank you. I meant to say it earlier. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for stopping in. I hope you like what you see, and hit the subscribe button to come back to see more. So now for the stitching. This is Owl Forest Embroidery. I am almost finished with this. All I have left to do is backstitch the whiskers on Cheshire Cat here and here. And I did go and look at the pattern again to make sure I did stitch it right, because the shading is quite different. Remember, I picked my own colors based on their DMC conversion, and then I went to my stash of overdyed threads and picked a close substitute. So that's why my coloring is quite different from theirs, but they did have them, this stitched in the darker color and this in the lighter color. So, oh well. I had debated pulling out one of them, but then that's too much work. So we'll leave it. It's good. I did fix my doorman down here. You will see it probably next time when I remove the Q-snap. But that's where it's at. Backstitch and done. the next one I'm going to show you, I just worked on it just a little bit yesterday. Because Jurgita at Little Pond Crafts, I think that's her channel name, she had posted this on Instagram, and I was like, yes, I have not been working on this nearly as much as I should have been, and she's breezing right along with this. Dressmaker's Daughter. My goal had been to work on this at least once a month on the 1st or the 21st-ish, because that's the change of seasons. In Australia and maybe in other countries, they change the seasons on the 1st, and here in North America we change it on the 20th or 21st, whenever the equinox is, I think. If I have a picture, I will insert here of where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. And there's the chart. How about I remove the chart? And now you can look at it. This is winter portion of this whole scenery, because I'm stitching it in the Australian seasons, because it's a whole thing. So here's where we are now. So when I picked it up, this is what I did. The whites and a bit of grays in there. And this is being stitched on 32 count Lavender Mist Belfast linen by XJudeDesigns. I was in a Fabric of the Month club, and this was one of the choices. Jurgita, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. She is working on summer, and she's pretty much finished it. I got close, and spring is finished except for some backstitching. So I just really have to focus on winter and fall, and then this will be done. And with Mirabilia's designs, they are a lot of block stitching. Not nearly as confetti rich as Heaven and Earth Designs. So it can move along. Sometimes it is boring, because this whole block is all purple, just like this one is all pink and this one is all orange. So I was going between purple and white, purple and white, purple and white, just so I don't get totally bored. And all the blank spaces here, I believe, is a water lilies color. And I do have the required water lilies for this one. And I believe I have all the beads as well. I should go through this bundle of thread and see if anything is needed for a stitching show. I see water lilies in there that I could use for my reindeer. Might not have all the beads, but I got a good start on the collection. There are a lot in this design, I believe it is one of the most bead heavy patterns. 19 packages of beads and 6 packs of treasures. So I'm really going to have to look through my stash and make sure. I'm going to keep this bag of thread out to look through it. So that's Dressmaker's Daughter. My next, okay, Dressmaker's Daughter was called for WIPGO. I think it was called in July, and July was I'm not going to focus on it this month because I was traveling, but I am trying to still make up for it. So that one I did get my goal, the 22 hours. No, Dressmaker's Daughter was not. This one, Cassiopeia. This is the one that was called for WIPGO in July, and I had to finish some stitching to reach my goal. This is Cassiopeia. By Mirabilia, and that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. But mine is not stitched on a light blue. Mine is stitched on a dark green. What is this fabric? It is not on my card. It is 32 count blank Belfast linen by Picture This Plus. I will think of the name when I'm done filming. I know it. So if I can find a picture where it was before, I will put it in here. And here it is now. And I worked over here and in here. Lots of filling in. I also did do some of the border. I did want to work on this more in August because this reminds me of my sister, and her birthday month is August, but I didn't get to it. I only got to it like one day to reach the goal of 2 more hours to make 22 hours for my WIPGO goal. Because my WIPGO goal is 22 hours on each project once it's been called. Some people are stitching whatever their goal is. 2 hours, 4 hours, 100 stitches, finish the project. Whatever the goal is, it's your own goal. But if they get it stitched beforehand, they will mark that square as done. And then once it's called, it's marked off as completed. For me, I'm stitching on it whenever, but once it's called, I'm trying to focus on getting those 22 hours in for the month. I am a little bit behind, but not very much. I'm only two numbers behind, and those are both finishes. Owl Forest embroidery, that one's going to be finished. That'll be a goal met. And the other one is finish a reindeer. I have haven't been doing that. I stitched on Dressmaker's Daughter on Monday because I was doing Manic Monday, where I'm trying to pick out my Maynia starts from years past and put some time into them. That was initially started as a goal, as a way to chip away at the reindeer. But then I was like, well, I also started this in Maynia, so I can work on that one instead. And then I looked at my records, and it turns out that I did not start Dressmaker's Daughter at Maynia. So it really doesn't count. But oh well. I got some time into that project, so that's fine by me. Beautitudes is another Whip Go goal that I am very close to meeting. I will pull up a picture. This is by My Big Toe. This one was started in Maynia back in I don't know, 2018, 2019. And I am not stitching it on the called for or with the called for silks. I am stitching it with Threadworks and Gentle Arts thread on 22 count Hardanger fabric from my stash. I will find a picture and insert it here. And here's where I am now. As you can see, I am almost ready to roll the squirrel frame. I put in the word heaven, and I finished the word mourn. The R and the N had to be finished. And I've been bringing the border up to the edge here. This is where we are. Yeah. I am very pleased with it, and 3 more hours and that goal for Whip Go will be met. Two more, I think. Yeah, 2 more projects to show you, which I need my tablet for. So I have been working on Hatter by Gecko Rouge. This is a kit that was gifted to me at Christmas, and I was able to contact them and get the digital backup so that I could use Pattern Keeper for it, which really does help move things along. This is what it will look like finished. And here's where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. And I put the bobbins on, but honestly, they're gonna flop into your way. I'm sure of it. Yeah. I worked in this center bit here. Just filling in from the bottom and then going up as far as I'm comfortable and parking it. This is pre-gridded fabric, but it is 20 by 20 squares when stitched 1/1. Well, I'm actually stitching 2/1/2 cross, but it's 20 threads and doesn't work well. But it does help in that I know my stitch should be this side of the line or that side of the line, but I'm not using it to count straight over to another stitch. So that's where it's at. I'm going to take the bobbins off so that we can get a good view. These are bobbins off of Amazon. I'm pretty sure they're available as a smaller size. I only got the 1 pack, and it turns out I'm not all that much of a fan of them. I put them on more or less when I'm done with that project for a while. So, yeah. So here's a better view. And I believe that we are over 25%. We are at 26.75% done. There is a lot of confetti, so you know, work on some confetti and then find a block of color. Some confetti, find a block of color. That's how I tackle these. Hatter by Gecko Rouge, 25 count, 2/1/2 cross. My next project that I'm going to share is another big project requiring a pattern caper. Started August 12th for World Cross Stitch Day. A stitching shelf by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Regular size, max color. And if I have a previous picture, I'll put that in here. And this one, I have managed to work on it in the mornings in place of Beloved, believe it or not. Yeah. But you'll see why I've been able to work on it in the mornings. There's a Facebook group, a stitching shelf Sal, run by myself, Carolyn, Zook, and Kim from Stitch and Stuff. And yeah, you can join us there. Most of us have started this project in August. Some of us have been working on it before the stitch along started, but it's a way to encourage you to keep working on it. I started in the top center. Now, I pre-gridded my outside borders, my center border, my center line, and I mistakenly started on a page break. And Julie, I believe it was Julie, had kindly commented that I could change it. I could just move my center line over, and I can, and that's a very good suggestion. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it as a page break, because page break on Pattern Keeper is a very bold line. And I might even add other page breaks just so that it's recognizable for me to count my stitches or to make it over to that. No, yes, that is the page break. You're on the right side. So I am at 2,725 stitches. So in the mornings I'm mostly working on that purple book. It's pretty solid stitching, so it's not that hard to do. I can get 100 and something stitches done in the mornings in the 15 or 20 minutes that I have available for stitching. I'll be talking about my goals for these pieces as well. So that is all that I've worked on in the last 10 days. So it feels like a lot. I mean, but you know, one day on this, one day on that, mornings on this, you know, fit it in when I can. So yeah. Plans. Whip-Go numbers were called. Jessie Marie called them. Whip-Go is a cross-stitch challenge group run by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. It's just a way to get some goals met on some projects that, I mean, you make your own goals. I mentioned earlier 22 hours, 2022, 22 hours. So I've been able to mostly keep up with that. The numbers for this month, for September, for next month, tomorrow onwards, are 3 and 22. And I'm going to pause the camera so I can get those projects. Be right back. Okay, so I have my projects here. The Whip-Go numbers for 3 is Welcome by Teresa Wensler. This is what it looks like. And for anybody who's curious about the magazine that it's in, because this was recently asked, like just this morning, on my last APC Bingo planning video from last year, Nicole had asked what magazine. This is the magazine, just cross stitch from June of 1999. That's what the cover looks like. Then I have it permanently opened to this design. This was called for Whip-Go, and so I'm going to try to use it in my ABC Ingo board as much as possible. And as a refresher, here's where I am. I really need to get some progress on this. Yeah. The other project for Whip-Go is Queen Mariposa by Mirabilia. And this one also needs some love because it's just not much there. So hopefully 22 hours on both of these projects will give it a really decent amount of something to show. ABC Ingo is another challenge that I am participating in. It's also a bingo type challenge where you create a bingo board. You put the letters A to Z everywhere scattered throughout the board, and you match a project to that letter. I don't have my list with me, but basically what I am going to try to do, maybe I'll make a video about it for ABC and Go Plans, but basically what I'm trying to do is work in Sampler September into the ABC and Go Plans. I don't have a lot of samplers, and as you can see, I haven't been working on very many samplers at all lately. So I decided I do need to, you know, touch those a little bit. And the ABC Ingo rules are an hour or 100 stitches, your choice. And like most people, I will probably just do the whole evening worth of stitches on it. So the samplers that I have, that I'm off the top of my head, are, and there's projects like Beautitudes, which, although it's not a sampler, I will consider it for a challenge. It's one of the, you know, it's close to a sampler as I'm going to get. Welcome. To me, that's sampler-esque. It's got borders, it's got lettering, it's got scenery, it's got flowery borders upon borders. There's different stitches in it, so I will try to fit that in as a sampler as well. I have Permin of Copenhagen sampler. I have the Sexy sampler, of course. That is the Les Belles Lettres de GG, letter T. And what other samplers do I have? This is off memory. Strawberries by Jeanette Douglas. That is definitely a sampler. It has multiple types of stitches in it. I could swear there's more. Probably yelling it at me right now. Alice, I would consider that a sampler, but it's going to be finished probably today. Yeah. So we'll just say those are the ones for sure you're going to see. And yeah. Moving my stuff out of the way so I can read the notes. Stitching shelf. So I have a couple of goals that I want to meet for stitching shelf and inner depths. I did not show you inner depths, but that's the other Heaven and Earth design that I started in August. As you know, I finished, in case you don't know, I finished a Heaven and Earth design, and I decided to start another one, which was Beloved Inner Depths. And then Carolyn, coerced me that I need to start a stitching shelf. So I have two big Heaven and Earth designs and my Gecko Rouge. The goals I'm setting right now are subject to change. I am hoping for September that a stitching shelf will reach 6,000 stitches. I've gotten 2,000 plus on it, 2,725, and I started it August 12th. So I think to add under 4,000 stitches is not impossible. So that's my goal. And inner depths, I'm currently at 4,308, and I think I could reach 8,000 for the month of September. I don't know. I mean, judging on how this month went, we'll see, because also ABC and Go. So we'll see. I do need to do a new start because I don't have any lunchtime stitching. So I think I am going to look at my stash soon and kit something up, if I don't already have something kitted up, because I got boxes, bins of patterns ready to go. I don't have anything currently on the go that's small enough and not tedious or particular. Sunflower Sampler by Shepherd's Bush, that is one that I'm going to add into the Sampler September lineup somehow, because I just can't work on it at work anymore. It's too involved. Yeah. So we'll see what I come up with for that. Now, Stitchy Kindness. I need to get some stuff out for this. So if you've followed me, and this is another project that I haven't picked up this month, and I should have. My goal was to work on it on the second Sunday of the month. I did not. I can't remember exactly why, but it didn't happen. So I think in September I'm going to have to add this to the ABC Ingo Dimensions Vintage Simplicity Vintage. I started this in May, so I could also call it a Manic Monday stitch if I don't work on it on Sunday. So Kim from Stitch and Stuff is working on this as well, and she sent me this bag, this project bag that she purchased off of, I believe it was Etsy. Swaina Stitching is the shop, and this is the perfect bag for this pattern. And I have my stitching. Here's where it's at, just so you know. It fits in here along with the thread, the chart. I even have the old Ada in here. I'm not stitching it with the kit fabric. Of course, now I can't get it in. I have considered making this my lunchtime project. It's still debatable. Everything fits in here perfectly. Scissors. and done. Just grab and go. Perfect. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so very much. I really enjoy their channel, Kim and Sarah from Stitch and Stuff. I probably mention them every single video. Good reason. Yeah, I have actually considered buying fabric like this if I could find some and making bags, but Kim beat me to it. So, yay, saved me some bag making. So that is all that I have to share. I am going to go now. I'm going to dig through these threads. There's also more beads in here. Put those in the bead bag. Dig through the rest of these and see. I might be able to fill some blanks with this instead of buying more thread on 123, because you know how I messed that up. If you don't know the story, go back to the last video. I think it was the last video. I think it was the last video where I share my haul. And yeah. So, life updates. Not a whole lot going on. It's the last day of August, which means it is starting to get cooler. The kitchen is, we're just waiting for the cabinet guys now. We're hoping to get an email Monday or Tuesday, which is going to require us to put a deposit down, and that means not a lot of haul going to happen on here. So yeah. And then it'll be about 16 weeks, I think, is their estimate. I think it could be less because it's not a big kitchen. I mean, honestly, the kitchen is about the size of this room because this room sits above the kitchen. And we took out what would basically be this wall about halfway across. And so you can see into the dining room. Yeah. So, yeah, it's not a very big kitchen. So for, I think 16 weeks is too long. But we'll see. Anyways, I should get going before this is too long. I'm going to be rambling. Clean up, move my goals downstairs, and yeah, maybe dig in some stash just a little bit. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, keep on stitching. Bye.